When it, when it's time. When it's time to buy a home, get your keys, open doors with K.
Hello everyone, I'm Kimasha Knight with Key Knight Realty Group. Welcome to Real Estate, Real Answers, Real Keys. Today we're talking about one of the most common questions I hear from buyers. Should I buy now or should I wait? Maybe you're waiting for interest rates to come down. Maybe you're waiting for prices to drop. Maybe you're waiting for the perfect house. Maybe you're waiting until you feel more confident. And while those are all reasonable considerations, I've learned something after helping people make major decisions in both real estate and in life. Sometimes people aren't waiting because they need more information. Sometimes they're waiting because they're afraid of making the wrong decision. Now, as a realtor, pastor, and someone who walks in a prophetic calling, I've learned that there is a real difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom gathers information. Fear keeps postponing action. So today, I want to help you understand the difference. So let's start with the practical real estate side. Many buyers believe that there will eventually be a perfect market. A market where interest rates are low, prices are low, inventory is high, competition is minimal. The problem is that that perfect market rarely exists. And when rates are low, competition increases. And when inventory increases, prices may rise. When prices soften, financing may become more expensive. Every market has advantages and challenges. And so that's why successful buyers, they focus less on timing the market and more on preparing themselves. So the better questions are, am I financially ready? Am I emotionally ready? Am I prepared for home ownership? Does buying support my current goals? Because if you're prepared, opportunities become easier to recognize. And if you're unprepared, even a great opportunity can pass you by. The market matters, but your readiness matters more. Many people live in a constant state of waiting. They're waiting for better circumstances, more confidence, more certainty, more guarantees. But life doesn't provide guarantees. Life requires faith, not blind faith, informed faith. The kind of faith that gathers wisdom, seeks counsel, evaluates options, and then moves forward. So I've discovered that fear often sounds spiritual. Fear may say, I'm just being careful. I'm just waiting for the right time. I'm just not sure yet. Now, sometimes waiting is wise, but sometimes waiting is simply fear wearing a wise disguise. The question becomes, are you waiting because God is saying wait, or are you waiting because you're afraid to move? Now, those are two very different things. One of the stories that comes to mind is the Israelites standing on the edge of the promised land. God had already shown them where they were going. The opportunity was before them. But when they looked at the obstacles, fear became louder than faith. They saw giants. They saw challenges. They saw reasons not to move forward. Joshua and Caleb saw the same circumstances, but they interpreted them differently. Why? Because they were viewing the situation through faith instead of fear. As someone with a prophetic calling, I've learned that discernment is not simply seeing what is in front of you. It's seeing what God may be doing beneath the surface. Now, discernment asks, what season am I in? What is God developing in me? Is this opportunity aligned with my purpose? Is this move motivated by faith or fear? Sometimes prophetic perspective isn't about predicting the future. Sometimes it's about recognizing the season. Now, there are seasons to wait. There are seasons to prepare. And then there are seasons to move. The key is knowing the difference. So let me speak directly to those of you who have been praying about your next chapter. Maybe it's a home. Maybe it's a move, a career change. Maybe it's something completely different. But ask yourself this, what evidence do I have that I am not ready? And what evidence do I have that fear may be keeping me stuck? Many times God doesn't reveal every detail before he asks us to take a step. He reveals enough for obedience. And then he reveals more along the journey. You don't need complete certainty to move forward. You need enough clarity for the next step. So here's today's real key. The goal is not perfect timing. The goal is prepared obedience. In real estate, the buyers who succeed are not usually the ones who wait for perfect conditions. They're the ones who prepare and act when the opportunity aligns. And in life, the people who grow are not the ones who eliminate every risk. They're the ones who learn to distinguish wisdom from fear. So if you're wondering whether you should buy or wait, ask yourself these 4 questions. Am I financially prepared? Am I planning to stay in the home long enough to benefit from ownership? Does buying align with my current goals? Am I waiting because of facts or because of fear? Write down your answers. Discuss them with your lender. Discuss them with me, your future realtor. And if you're a person of faith, spend time praying and seeking God's direction, because major decisions deserve both wisdom and discernment. So here's today's real estate key. Preparation matters more than perfect timing. And today's life key is fear often disguises itself as wisdom, because at Key Night Realty Group, we believe in real estate, real answers, real keys. If this episode helped you, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who's trying to decide whether to buy or wait, and leave a comment below. What decision have you been postponing because you're waiting for perfect conditions? I'm Kimasha Knight, and I'll see you next time. Remember, the real estate key is preparing for the opportunity. The life key is having the courage to move when preparation and purpose align.
Love it, close it tight. Real estate done right with Kimasha Knight.
When it's time for change, don't
Get it right.
make your next move with
K-Night, buy or sell.